Breaking news! Southport stabbings caused by knife. Axel Rueda-Cubana's murder of 3 children and wounding of others at a Taylor Swift dance class shocked the nation last summer and served as the spark which ignited the riots. It is therefore with great relief that I can report that the government and their media lackeys have finally worked out what the problem is. Is it the fact that he was referred to PREVENT, the government program designed to identify and de-radicalize potential terrorists, on 3 separate occasions? Is it the fact that the police had visited the family home numerous times in the months leading up to the attack? Is it the fact that up to 40,000 potential Islamic terrorists are on a government watch list? These are all reasonable questions, of course, which is precisely why they're not being asked. Instead, Home Secretary Yvette Cooper today explained that it was a total disgrace that the murderer was easily able to order a knife on Amazon despite having a previous conviction for violence and being just 17. The Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, described Rueda-Cubana as the 2-click killer. The result? Cooper has promised to bring in stronger measures to tackle knife sales online in the Crime and Policing Bill this spring. Rejoice, citizens of Great Britain! Your safety is now assured.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, when the Southport thing happened, they put this guy's face as if it was such a young, cute kid, educated and everything, as if he's assimilating in society. But then we found out the kid is this big. Everybody thought already that was weird. He was about 70 years old, this cute. I'm like, why do they lie so many times? And now you want me to believe that when in UK you keep arresting people with violence on the internet. Okay. You found them with a Mein Kampf book. Okay. You sent them to prison. I mean, it might be true, but if you lie about one thing, I can say both sides is untrue, right?
Rejoice, citizens of Great Britain! Your safety is now assured. And if for some reason you're not satisfied by this approach, help is available. Radio presenter James O'Brien, the undisputed leader of Britain's moron industrial complex, whose job it is to tell normies what to believe in order to avoid the cognitive dissonance of having to face reality, is on hand to help. He begins reasonably enough by pointing out that the killer bought his knife on Amazon. Why is this significant? After all, Rueda-Cubana could have simply taken a knife from his parents' kitchen or waited a week for his 18th birthday and bought a knife from any shop in the country. It's significant, O'Brien explains, because
Amazon, of course, is owned by Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos was sitting in the row behind Donald Trump at the latter's inauguration.
And by that logic, I can say all the people that came over the border and caused somebody to disappear like Laken Riley, yeah, Kamala was there. So I can blame Kamala, right? If you want to use that logic, you have no idea how many people you are responsible to let disappear. Positive, remember to subscribe?
No.
Ooh, how quickly the plot thickens. O'Brien continues his stunning bout of investigative journalism by exclusively revealing that one of the thousands of videos Rueda-Cubana watched before committing his crimes was published on X, which, as you all know, is owned by Elon Musk, who not only got on stage at the inauguration, but did the Nazi salutes, according to James O'Brien.
The man who owns the platform that still hosts and holds the footage that the Southport killer looked before he set off to that Taylor Swift dance class, he was not just sitting in the row directly behind Donald Trump. He is the guy that got on stage and did the Nazi salute.
First of all, people on your side did the Nazi salute too, by your logic, that's one. And the fact that they released the real face, why are you pissed that we see now the real face when you use the cutest picture of the person that did something horrible?
Musk, of course, did no such thing, but was instead misrepresented by people like James O'Brien in a way that they would never do with politicians whose views they like and support.
It's so easy. I'm pointing at the window, but you will make this a salute if you want to. How can I trust you if that's how you label people? Makes no sense.
O'Brien concludes by stating that he is not given to hyperbole before suggesting that Bezos and Musk, 2 men who had nothing whatsoever to do with the Southport stabbings, are in fact the people we should be focusing on.
The aligning of these planets is at the very least notable. But what the hell can a British government do to rein them in? Because that is the fight that they've picked.
If you are somehow shocked by these developments, I envy you.
I don't understand how somebody is bringing the fight by just correcting the information that you put out there or you're trying to hide. This and this will always ring a bell. Other than trying to be sympathetic, you're afraid that it might get worse. But I think the more you try to hide it, it gets worse. Especially when people can't trust you anymore.
Those of us who comment on these issues regularly
to rein them in. Because that is the fight that they've picked.
If you are somehow shocked by these developments, I envy you. Those of us who comment on these issues regularly are beginning to see a pattern. In 2021, Sir David Ames, the Member of Parliament for Southend West, was stabbed to death by Ali Harbi Ali, a British citizen of Somali descent with Islamist links. What was the response of David's colleagues? To bang on about online hate as if their friend had been killed by a tweet. The sad reality is that we live in a society that is absolutely determined to avoid unpleasant truths in the false belief that if we bury our heads in the sand, our problems will go away. They won't. Contrary to popular myth, even ostriches do not actually bury their heads in the sand because it's stupid and it doesn't work. But that won't stop the government from trying and idiots like O'Brien from egging them on.
And guess what? There's even more information.
And I do think actually that point about somehow blaming Amazon is patently and provably ridiculous. I mean, do they think we're silly to assume that Barack Obama wouldn't have killed unless Amazon had delivered him a knife? You can get a knife in any kitchen drawer. You can steal a knife from any hardware store on any high street. It's not knives that kill people, it's psychopaths. And psychopaths are becoming radicalised in ways that our radicalisation services aren't picking up. Stop deflecting. Stop blaming an online retailer.
No, they're picking it up. But I believe with empathy they can change them. And if it doesn't work, we're going to blame somebody else. Ladies and gentlemen, here you have the freaking list. You can see all these people. 8, 6, 7, 8. Everybody young. The top one on the right corner was the teacher. Got 5. Champ. Blocked the door. Run away. All descriptions over here. You have the first one on the top left. 122. Pam, pam, pam. Ladies and gentlemen, it makes no sense. The next one. Next to her. 85. I don't understand. I don't understand when you have an issue culturally that people feel defended because people might dislike them. The fact that you defend it and somebody is in that position and you tell them that over and over, how do you think they're going to react? This isn't like a reaction one-time thing. He went to a specific concert where there's a lot of women, little women. And I'm like saying, well, they said something in the moment. So he had that pain. This is a person that wanted to do damage. And it almost makes me cry. It makes no sense. I can understand you want to protect people, but it makes no sense. When I see something like this, I'm like, I don't want to have a daughter in UK. I've never felt so bad for people thinking like, yeah, we need to have empathy. I'm like, what empathy? It makes no sense. It's not that we don't want to have empathy, but I can't understand empathy in such a situation when you try to obfuscate. It makes no sense. I shouldn't be feeling like this for another country that kind of wants to have a Western way of thinking that they want to apply to other places in Western. I don't want anything with that. It makes no sense. I really have empathy for people in UK that actually have to think, if I want to say something about it, I have to be careful what I post on the internet. I don't know, man. This is not good. This is not good for my health. Just even imagine. This is one of the most, I don't know, man. It saddens me so much that I have to speak like that for people. I'll just take a break right now.
No doubt in my mind, had people done their job better in the last few years in relation to this man, those girls would still be alive.
All I have to say is, if all this information is out there and somebody really cares about something and sees somebody say something that I can feel a little identified with in the most nicest way, and your response is, I don't know, man. If I would be living in that country and somebody is the boss of that country, I would not be very happy. I would not be very happy at all. But I'm going to stop it here because this kind of ruined my Sunday a little. God bless you all. Wish you the best. And I hope this will get solved.
Don't get me wrong, ako sa kita bong. Put the fire na mi blonde kush hash purple skunk criollo colombici jam jam turlo keta verdeta welcome.